All right, so this is interesting, right? You sent us a bunch of stuff on Oliver Law Office, videos, text, all that, and
Yeah.
it's not your typical law firm deep dive,
Right.
They handle wrongful death, personal injury cases, the heavy stuff, but there's something really different about their whole approach.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing that too. Just from the materials, you get this sense of a personal touch,
Yes.
almost like a family vibe with their clients, the community. Not what you'd expect from this area of law, you know?
No, not at all. And right off the bat, bam, Oliver Law Office, entirely women run. You don't see that every day.
No, you don't. It really makes you think, right? Like, you don't often see women leading the charge in this field.
Right.
And I wonder if it challenges people's perceptions, what they picture when they think, tough lawyer.
Yeah.
But you know what? This could actually be a huge advantage for them. Think about it. Clients, especially in wrongful death cases,
Yeah.
they might be specifically looking for that compassion, that understanding, and seeing a woman in charge. It's different.
It does. It does. And speaking of Jami, her story, man, in that Excellence in Community Impact video,
Yeah.
learning about her losing her mother, grandmother, and uncle to pancreatic cancer.
Oh, gosh.
And then while she's building this firm, she loses her sister, too.
Oh, that's awful.
Heartbreaking. But the fact that she channels that grief, that loss, into her work,
Yeah.
incredible.
It really is. I mean, think about it. That level of loss, most people would just shut down. But she turns it into action, becomes this force for raising awareness, funding for pancreatic cancer research. That says a lot about her.
It does.
Not just resilience, but the kind of culture she's building at her firm,
Absolutely. It's like, who better to understand what families going through wrongful death are going through than someone who's lived it?
Exactly.
And in that same video, hearing her talk about wearing two hats, being both a litigator and a family member to her clients,
Yeah.
that's got to be powerful for them.
Oh, absolutely. You're not just dealing with, legal complexities in those situations. You're talking about immense emotional stress, grief.
Mm.
And if a lawyer can actually step into that space, offer support, understanding alongside the legal stuff,
Right.
that makes all the difference to a family who's already going through so much.
Huge.
Yeah.
You're not just a case file to them,
Yeah.
They see the human impact of what happened. And it's not just about winning a case. It's about being there for people when they're at their absolute worst.
Yeah, and what's interesting?
Yeah.
That this isn't limited to wrongful death cases either. Remember that personal injury attorneys video?
Yeah.
They really emphasized being there for their clients every step of the way in those cases too, making sure they feel heard, understood.
Totally. It's a thread that runs through everything they
It
did.
does, it really does.
And it's not just them saying it,
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing for them to say they're supportive and all that,
Right.
but they actually walk the walk.
Yeah.
There's this one client testimonial, this woman talking about how after her husband died, Oliver Law Office, they were like a pillar of strength for her. She's dealing with grief, insurance companies, legal stuff she doesn't understand,
Right.
and they just took care of everything.
Wow.
Let her focus on her family,
That's huge. And that's where this whole approach, it goes from like a nice idea to a real business advantage. Think about it. A client in that situation.
Yeah.
They're going to tell everyone they know about that experience.
Oh, absolutely.
It's trust, genuine connection. It's not just good ethics, it's good business.
Yeah.
Client loyalty, word of mouth referrals.
Totally. And it makes you wonder, right? Like, do other firms shy away from this because they think being compassionate means you're somehow less competent?
Right. Like, you can't be both.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be empathetic and effective, compassionate, ND, successful. But you know what? Oliver Law Office, they're kind of proving that wrong.
They are. They really are. And it's not just some side project for them either. Remember that part in the Excellence in Community Impact video? Jami mentions her whole team is on board with supporting pancreatic cancer research.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's commitment.
For sure. I mean, it's one thing for a company to just write a check, donate to charity.
Right.
But to have your entire team invested, participating in those walks, raising awareness themselves, that says a lot about their culture.
It does. They're putting in the work. And you can tell it's personal for Jami, especially. After losing her sister, she could have easily stepped back.
Oh, absolutely.
But she pushed forward. And hearing her quote her sister, saying, "Don't stop. Stop living your life." It's like she's turning that grief into fuel,
It's that resilience again. And using those experiences, those losses, to actually make a difference, to fight for others, honor her family's memory. It's pretty inspiring, honestly.
It is. It is. Talk about walking the walk. It makes you think,
Yeah.
what if more businesses took this approach, woven social good into their core mission, gave their teams a chance to make a real impact.
It's a really compelling model, not just going to work, but being part of something bigger.
Yes.
Serving your clients, your community. That resonates with people.
Absolutely. Especially these days, for sure.
But it does make you wonder.
What's that?
Like, beyond the big picture, how does this actually play out in their legal work? What are the specifics that set them apart?
It's like, what's their secret sauce, right? Besides the obvious, the compassion, the drive to make a difference, there's got to be something in how they actually approach the law itself that sets them apart.
Yeah, I think you're onto something. Looking at everything they've given us, a big part of it seems to be that dedication to being hands-on with clients. Like they're saying, look, let us deal with all the heavy lifting, the legal stuff, while you focus on what matters most, especially with wrongful death cases.
Right.
They talk about taking care of evidence, dealing with insurance companies, all the
Oh, I bet.
all those things that just feel overwhelming on top of everything else.
Absolutely. It's all there in the wrongful death attorneys video, how they make sure clients feel comfortable, supported every step of the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine going through something that traumatic and then having to deal with all the logistical nightmares on top of it.
It's like they're saying, we got this, you focus on healing, on your family, we'll handle the rest. And that feeling of not being alone in it all,
Oh, I bet.
that's got to be priceless for those families.
Absolutely. And it's not just wrongful death either, right? I mean, in the personal injury attorneys video,
Right.
they keep emphasizing making sure their clients understand what's happening at every stage.
Right. Keep them in the loop.
It's all about clear communication, making the client feel empowered throughout the legal process.
It's the opposite of that stereotypical lawyer experience, where you're just lost in the jargon, paperwork. This is about transparency, partnership. Like you're not just hiring them to win a case, you're bringing them onto your team.
It is a really different approach. A lot of firms are content to keep their clients at arm's length, but Oliver Law Office,
Yeah.
they're going above and beyond to create that human supportive experience.
And I bet it works wonders for them because when you build that trust, that feeling of actually being cared for,
Oh, yeah.
people remember that. They tell their friends, their family. It stops being just a transaction and it becomes about, I don't know, a different way of doing business.
It's like they're saying, yeah, we're lawyers, but we're people first,
Exactly.
And that really comes across in everything we've seen about them. Jami's story, their commitment to the community.
Right.
They're not just talking the talk, they're walking the walk.
100%. And they're setting a high bar for other firms out there. Makes you wonder, what if this client-focused, compassion-driven approach, what if it became the norm, not the exception?
Now that is a question worth pondering. For anyone listening who's ever felt, disillusioned by how impersonal the legal system can be, well, Oliver Law Office, they offer a little bit of hope.
They do.
They prove you can be both successful and compassionate.
Absolutely.
And that sometimes the best way to win, well, it starts by treating people like human beings.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder the possibilities. This deep dive into Oliver Law Office has been eye-opening, and hopefully it's inspired you to look for that human touch, that commitment to something bigger
Yeah.
in whatever professional services you're looking for. Until next time.